Engineered for victory. The Linksys WRT32X gaming router is exclusively built for gamers. With its killer prioritization engine, the WRT32X reduces peak ping by up to 77%. Auto syncs with killer-enabled PCs for unique functionality not found in other routers. Native pro-grade hardware ensures the router runs powerfully and reliably for endless hours of gameplay. And the custom-built firmware and interface are developed for an exceptional gaming experience. Built for gaming, designed to dominate.
A first in high-end gaming. Introducing the new Alienware Area 51 Threadripper Edition.
Gyros is currently sitting at 0 CS.
The machine is 16-core and 32-thread CPU, ready to overclock. Our most powerful liquid cooling unit exceeds VR and 12K requirements. From the company that pioneered the gaming desktop comes the ultimate gaming machine.
The Alienware 15 is the perfect balance of power and portability for gameplay far beyond the expected. It's been engineered with premium materials to deliver more performance than ever. With magnesium alloy for rigidity, copper for higher performance, and a new hinge-forward design that enables a variety of benefits, like better airflow and improved ventilation. Equipped with an Alienware Tactix keyboard with N-key rollover, featuring the latest NVIDIA 10 series graphics and 2,667 MHz DDR4 memory. With the latest and most powerful Intel Core processors and optional dynamic overclocking. Sporting an expansive LCD screen with 120 Hz G-Sync technology, this powerhouse of a machine enables incredibly smooth graphics to get you deeper in the game than ever before. The Alienware 15 offers an intensely immersive experience that doesn't just balance the scales, it tips them in your favor. Introducing Alienware's most powerful 13-inch gaming laptop ever. Featuring an optional touch OLED screen display and vibrant colors for more realistic gameplay. It's the first Alienware laptop of its size with a quad-core H-class CPU. Combined with the cooling benefits offered by the new hinge-forward design, this powerhouse is ready to take the heat. With improved rear door access, your machine can evolve with you, allowing for future upgradability to both RAM and hard drives, so you're never left behind. With the Alienware 13, you'll do more than push the envelope, you'll shred it.
battle begins. The battle begins. The battle begins.
Welcome back everyone into the Battle of Coffees running in the United Arab Emirates, brought up by the Gamers Hub Middle East. Today we're hosted by the GeeGee Computer Club in Abu Dhabi, and this is the second round of the tournament. Right now we're getting into the lowest bracket. Team Statix versus TOE. They've lost their games to GeeGee eSports and Infinity Pros respectively. Or it's the other way around. Right now it's Statix versus the Infinity Pros because TOE got their game in their hands. Big thanks to our main sponsors, Dell Gaming, HyperX, AOC, and support Targus and Whoopi. We will also have a contest in our Facebook group where in the comments you need to name the Targus Gaming backpacks names, and then we'll have 2 lucky winners by the end of the today finals. So join our Facebook group, leave your comments there, name the bags, and then you'll get a chance to win 2 free bags for you. Pretty sweet, right? Not doing anything, just typing something in Facebook and grabbing a bag. Why not? Let's see how this game runs on. We hope that there will be an intense fight from the both team. Already seeing Void, Clockwork, and Medusa banned out by the Infinity Pros, and Dragon Knight and Tinker banned out by Statix. Tinker is a pretty new ban we haven't seen from the previous team.
10 seconds
Let's see how
remaining.
these match up and
Radiant
works out for them.
pick.
Both
Team
Terrorblade
pick.
and Dragon Knight were picked in the previous games by both teams, if I'm not mistaken. Shadow Shaman as a first pick comes out. Pretty strong support in this meta. Both has a ganking potential and does impact a lot the pushing out both in the early stages and especially in the late game when he grabs up his refresher orb from the potion that pulls out so much pressure. Please leave the comments on the Twitch whether everything is good with sound, whether everything is good with the picture. We tried to solve all the issues that we had from the beginning. Hope everything works pretty well right now. Disruptor comes as a first pick by Statix, the same pick as we've seen in the previous game with Tusk. Basically, Statix saw how Tusk brought so much impact in the early rotating throughout the map. Also, if any one of you is playing in any computer club and you're not still a part of this tournament, try to cooperate with the managers, with the owners of the computer clubs, try to create a team and practice all together, and maybe join us in the next series of these tournaments. Let's build the Middle East society all together. Let's bring these Dota, not only Dota, but maybe the series of tournaments for League of Legends, Counter-Strike will come on soon. So share everything with your friends, share the Twitch link, let's gather up guys. So Shadow Shaman and Omni Knight as the supports composition from the Infinity Pros, and we've seen Omni Knight being banned constantly in the previous games. The teams are so afraid because right now, even on the pro scene, he's so much abused. His ultimate gives a very strong dominance in the team fight, reducing and denying a lot of physical damage. Let's cheer for both teams. Team Statix and Team Infinity Pros. Team Infinity Pros had a pretty decent beginning in the last game, and they just lost it to the constant rotation of Tusk, destroying both the middle and the top lanes, and that just surprised them, I suppose. But now they're facing Tusk once again, and let's see whether they'll find a key for this door
10 seconds remaining.
in the new game.
5 seconds remaining.
Targus Strike and Targus Sniper. What would that mean? I mean, I've seen also that Sniper is being constantly banned out by all the teams at this tournament throughout the first 2 games. I'm not sure how popular he is right now in this region, but I suppose it is a Phantom Lancer and Ursa being banned out as well. So now they're just trying to ban out every single carry, hard carry possession that they could, because for both teams their support positions are already opened up. And let's see whether Shadow Fiend will be picked up by any of the 2 teams. Worked pretty well
5 seconds
for both GeeGee Sports and the TOE team. Was able to dominate the mid lane, was able to transmit into the mid game pretty well, grabbed a very fast BKB, pulled out tons of damage in the team fights.
Team picked.
Sven stands ready.
Well, the combination of Tusk and Sven is pretty old and very well working. Here I would say that the early aggression that Statix could pull onto Infinity Pros could be as tragic as it was in the previous game. I hope that there is no any disappointment, maybe arguments between the team players. I hope that the mood is pretty well for teams, because this is the most essential part. If you cannot cooperate throughout the game well with each other, there is no chances that your personal skill would make it all for you. And this is also another problem of the Middle Eastern teams, I would say, that they don't play with each other for a very long time. Usually mostly they're one tournament teams. They come, if they manage to lose both games in the tournament, they just disband automatically and not try to change the things in a better way for the future. Gyrocopter and an instant pick up of a Death Prophet by Infinity Pros. Well, at this time, the team setup looks better, and Omni Knight is also often picked up as a carry position in these days. Let's see whether this is the case for them right now, and Undying is it going to be a solo lane or a 4th position, 5th position support. But Sven and Gyrocopter for Statix, isn't it too greedy? I mean, both of them need this early farm.
Radiant team ban.
And before they grab their BKBs, there's not really much they can do in the team fight. We also see a lot of control coming from the Infinity Pros. We also see that Omni Knight will reduce this physical damage that both Sven and Gyrocopter are famous for.
10 seconds remaining.
A ban of Drow Ranger. I'm not really sure how necessary was this pick for Infinity Pros, because they already have too many heroes as Omni Knight and Undying. That might have given some bonuses for Death Prophet at the early stages in the middle lane, but was it worth of picking a Drow Ranger? I also think that they absolutely deny the idea that Omni Knight can be the carry position hero. Maybe they just didn't track the recent games on the majors and the lycanthrope. Okay, this destroys my whole conceptual theory about Omni Knight being their carry position, their hardcore carry position. But at least now they have a decent answer in the late game. However, lycanthrope is not anymore as strong as it was even a half year ago, where he was very popular for his late game scale. So what's going the last pick for the Statix? Thinking carefully about it. We've seen Brewmasters going on the hard lane in the previous game.
You may now select your heroes.
Well, Pack brings a lot of AoE CC, which is needed for Gyrocopter, and it is very well combined with Disruptor, we can say. Let's wish the best of luck for both of the teams. Let's cheer for some beautiful Dota, and let's hope that it's not going to be as unequal and as snowballing as the previous 2 games were. Join us once again, share the Twitch link with your friends, share with anyone who is playing Dota or any other type of games here in UAE. let's collaborate all together, guys. Also, don't forget to jump into our Facebook group, leave a comment under the post, and become the lucky winner of 2 of the Trigos bags. Only a few seconds, and we're into the game. Also, please let us know in the Twitch chat whether everything is good with sound and whether everything is good with the picture. We tried to fix every technical faults that we had in the previous games, and let's hope that now it's all good. Yeah, Doom would also be a good pickup. I do agree with you. Oh, okay. We had a crash of Dota 2. We'll try to instantly jump back. Very sorry for this. Yeah, we'll reduce the sound of the in-game sound because the microphone sound is not that high, I suppose. Still high? Yeah, I don't know. It's pretty low for me. Please let me know in chat whether the in-game sounds are really that high. Also see a pause from one of the teams. Okay, I'll reduce the music volume, the master volume a bit. I hope that makes it better. I'll also try to reduce the microphone. 1 2 1 2 mic check. I hope that makes it better and the voice is more clear and loud for you right now. Please let me know whether that changed it for better in the Twitch chat. Give me a second.
30 seconds to battle.
Alright, let's watch some Dota, guys. I do really expect a lot of rotations from both Tusk and Disruptor in this game, as we've seen in the last match up. And we see a line rotation coming up from Statix team, as they, if I'm not mistaken, they've done it also in the first game. So they've brought their triple line, staying against Lycanthrope. I feel this is a very good idea because they have a lot of control both from the Disruptor and Tusk. However, Undying on the first 3 to 4 minutes also makes some decent changes in the amount of damage that they can pull out. Can we also last hits and nice? Thanks. Finally, a very calm beginning in comparison to the previous two. However, the most of the attention is going to grab into the bottom lane. Let's see how it turns out for the team Statix in swapping their lines and whether or not the TOE team, no, the Infinity Pros team would like to swap it back, or they will be comfortable enough with staying with the same composition. There is really this disproportionate balance for the Statix team because they have 2 range heroes, and that also gives some pressure when you have a triple lane against triple lane. Mine! Fair standing against between Stand and Omni Knight. However, I'm not sure whether that's going to be enough, and that's already a first blood. Change out between 2 teams. Gyrocopter down and Shadow Shaman on the other side, and I'm pretty sure that Statix team is not very happy about that, because the Lycanthrope just stays and continues farming on the lane, while the Gyrocopter had to come back to the lane and waste some time. However, Lycanthrope needs just a few more hits on him, but he manages to survive it. Tusk doesn't go anywhere, and this is what I told you. Undying is just pulling out so much damage in the first 2 minutes of the game. They're managing to beat the triple lane that came to them, and now I would question whether it was a great idea for the Statix to make this rotation. However, it's still only 2 minutes into the game. Let's see whether that will be changed in the later stage of it. Well played, well played. A lot of Harris coming out from Undying. He's really decently increasing his HP and pulling out so much damage on the enemy team. pretty calm and equal in the mid lane at the same time. 10 to 8 in minions between Pac and Death Prophet, not a big difference. No threats from anyone. They both are sure that all of the supports are stuck into the bottom lane and that they're pressuring each other. At the same time, Sven cannot do anything until the level 5 at least to Omni Knight. Neither can Omni Knight do anything to him, so it's just going to be one of these stable matchups of solo laners where no one can actually do something to the opposing hero, but the main target for them is to farm as much as they can. Small lead in farm for the Radiance. However, that's just few minions. Could change radically in one of few ganks. Some more aggression on the bottom lane coming up from the Radiance. This Tusk just cannot find a proper target, and I suppose that they have to focus Shadow Shaman here, and if they kill him instantly, that would reduce heavily the CC, the control that the Radiance have, and also Shadow Shaman on the early minutes, he has so much damage of his casual hits. It's around 77 as a basic hit, which is pretty high for a support. Also, please let me know whether the background noise in the computer club is very high and distractful. We try to make it low as much as it's possible, but just because we're casting in the main hole, that might somehow affect it. I'll be checking sometimes the Twitch comments. I hope that everything is good. Lower the unit speech volume and a little more on the music. At the same time, Death Prophet manages to find a solo kill on Pac. Yeah, that should make it better, thanks. And now we see a slight dominance that Death Prophet can find out simply because of that. We see how Silence really plays against Pac very well. And Tusk is already forced to come to the mid lane. And try to trap anyhow a gank on Death Prophet. But she's already level 6 in a comparison to level 4 of Pax. I mean, the amount of experience difference is pretty sweet for her right now, and it plays very well for her. And because of how Tusk just loses some of time rotating from the bottom to the mid and back without actually managing to get any difference from that. Can put still last hit and the nice. Yep. So it's 25 to 23. I mean, Pac manages to get back into the minions, but he still falls back in the experience gain. Also, we see it just because of the denies. At the same time, Undying is still able to perform and to absorb all of the enemy's damage, and Gyrocopter is already down. Tusk and the Disruptor are trying to disengage, however Shadow Shaman is not letting anyone out. Tusk is almost brought to death, and we see how the Stomp is working well for Undying. Gyrocopter already back into the lane, trying to find a kill on Lycanthrope, but he's disengaging as well, and that's already 2 kills for none. This triple lane swap is not working well for Team Statix at all. They might reconsider it and swap back, maybe let Sven try to find some farm on this hard lane, but Gyrocopter is not feeling well at all in this lane. He's already double behind the Lycanthrope, 14 to 24 in minions, almost double, and this shows how disproportionate the dominance is on the bottom lane at this point of a time. Very well played, and the Undying Stomp just creates so much a difference when it is a triple lane against triple lane, simply because there is a lot of enemies right beside him. Also, we see that Omni Knight manages to over-farm Sven by a bit. That's why I believe that the Statix had to reconsider their lane composition. Static field from Disruptor does not really work much. However, we see how much damage they could pull out on Gyrocopter. Pac at the same time comes from the back of the team, puts out a nice Dream Coil, setting down 3 enemy teammates. However, that still is not enough, because because the Tomb of Undying works so well and he does pull out so much of damage, still being able to survive, and that's already the trade 2 for 1, and Undying just grabs it all for him. That's already 3 down, and if Puck goes down, this is just a terrible scenario on the bottom lane right here. Gyrocopter is already back into the game, trying to pull out enough damage on the rocket barrage. Is enough to get down Lycanthrope, but at the same time the middle lane is left alone for Death Prophet. She manages to get down Tier 1 tower with her ulti, and Omni Knight is just almost made it with the teleport home. However, Disruptor was here in time, but the amount of heal up that Omni Knight is able to pull out just keeps him safe at the line. And this is very well played out by the Infinity Pros in this game. The rotation of Shadow Shaman right at the top lane could have possibly bring them a kill on Disruptor, was not yet enough. But this Undying on the bottom lane simply brought 3 kills almost on his own. It was just interesting why they didn't even try. It was a very nice pickup right now on Disruptor. It was an easy kill for Death Prophet. But it's interesting why they're not even trying to bring the Tomb down. There were 4 people on the bottom lane. They could simply kill the Tomb very fast altogether. But instead, they chose to try to focus Lycanthrope. Then Undying distributed their damage in a very bad way. Still kept the Tomb staying up for a long time. And this one brought them to very big problems. Dusk tried to help out his Sven on the top lane, but that does not work out, and most probably Sven is also not going anywhere far, though the stun into 3 people saved him just for now. Puck is once again rotating to the top, might place a very nice Dream Coil, keeping in place both Shadow Shaman and Undying. However, Undying is still working very well, and the Tomb is staying. Finally, Sven chooses to destroy the Tomb before trying to focus Death Prophet or Omni Knight, and that's why they're finally able to grab this team fight in their hands. All of 5 members of the Statix team are gathered right now on the top. I'm sorry. Finally, a good turnaround for them. However, they've managed to pull out a 1,300 gold change after this fight, but whether that is going to be enough, that's questioned, because Lycanthrope at the same time was left all alone, managed to get the Tier 1 tower. It's already all the 3 towers, if I'm not mistaken, are down, or the top one is yet alive. Now all the 3 Tier 1 towers are down, and this is basically what makes the difference in gold. Also, in addition to some kills lit, but the farm is also overwhelmingly in the favor of Statix. Gyrocopter is not feeling well in this game, having only 26 minions in comparison to 47 of Lycanthrope or even 54 of the Omni Knight. He needs the stacks in the forest, he needs his farm, he needs a lot of time yet to be useful in the team fight. Already a dominator on Lycanthrope, and he just continues to push the bottom lane all on his own. Yeah, and Omni Knight already getting into the Midas, which will only increase his snowballing in the farm, both in gold and experience throughout this early game. Now we see a double damage rune on Pac, and Tusk is trying to pull out some initiation, trying to focus fastly the Death Prophet. However, they heal out of Omni Knight, in addition with the damage and Tomb that instantly turned around the team fight. Whether that's going to be enough damage on Gyrocopter, not yet enough. Disruptor is trying to run away from the zombies. Oh my god, this Tomb does very good for Undying. And last fight, Sven managed to focus it fastly. However, this time they decided not to instantly get rid of it, and it paid really bad for them. Already 5,000 gold difference on the 11th minute. And the snakes from Shadow Shaman work well. As I said from the beginning, Shadow Shaman is such an amazing hero in this meta. I mean, his transition from the early game, where he could pull a lot of pressure both in the triple lane and rotate it to the mid lane, and how he transmits with his pushing abilities in a combination with the Death Prophet's ultimate, very sweet. 12 minutes into the game, we see how the early domination and early aggression of the team Infinity Pros pays them well. I assume they managed to settle down all the disputes, all the arguments after the first game of theirs, and not to fall down on the dismorale. I hope everything is good now in the Twitch chat. Thanks everyone. Once again, share the Twitch link with everyone who is interested in gaming in Dota 2 or any other type of games in the UAE. We're trying to pull out as much tournaments as it is possible. Once again, it is the Battle of Cafés tournament with a prize pool of 30,000 dirhams. Today we're hosted by the GeeGee Computer Club in Abu Dhabi. Next week we'll be going to be hosted by WoW Computer Club in Ajman. Also join us there. If you're constantly playing in any computer club, try to set up a team, try to communicate with the admins of the computer club, with the owners, try to make them want to have a tag team under the name of their computer club. And let's hope that the next series of a tournament will involve more than, let's say, 20 or even above computer clubs all around the UAE. So now we see a settling up a push on the top lane. At the same time, Lycanthrope is still all on his own on the bottom lane, and no one can do anything about it. Gyrocopter is just a fresh mid for him, what Pudge would shout here. Actually, Dusk is trying to help out Gyrocopter and settle a counter gank on the bottom lane, just to keep Lycanthrope far away from this push. But at the same time, once the Radiant saw that Dusk already rotated back on the bottom lane, now they're equally 4 versus 3 even, dominant in the numbers. And we see that Lycanthrope is just being able to get down Gyrocopter on his own, instantly two additional teleports from the enemy team. But Lycanthrope was able to take down Gyrocopter even standing against all of the enemy team. I'm not sure whether that played well for them. They were able to get a streak from him, 500 golds, pretty sweet. However, still though, it's not really the best outcome that you would love to see. And at the same time, Radiants are just continuing their push on the top lane. They didn't spend their snakes on the tier 2 tower. And now the whole Dire team have to rotate to the top lane. At the first minute, it seemed as their pick is pretty much mobile. I mean, when you look at the composition of Puck, Tusk, Disruptor, you expect them to be roaming all around the map, but right now you see how Lycanthrope and Shadow Shaman, they're just splitting up the whole enemy team and making them rotate throughout the whole map and spending a lot of time for nothing. I think that this episode on the bottom lane, where Lycanthrope just fought against 4 members of the enemy team and still managed to get Gyrocopter down, could just fall into highlights and be the deciding episode in this game. I mean, it shows everything. Already 7,000 gold differences for the Radiance team, and we see how the net worths do represent the amount of farm and gold difference that we have here. Puck already grabbed his dagger, however we still didn't see any good implementation of it. Shadow Shaman is just keeping an eye on Puck, and maybe you would even be able to harass Puck a bit, or maybe he's expecting him to start teleporting and then just cancel his TP to leave his teammates in a better composition for a team fight. Already a Sanjin Omni Knight, just needs to bring it on him. And so much summons right now also coming out from Lycanthrope. He's just going all the way for the bush. Not yet much on Gyrocopter, only face boots and drops, and we see that he only has 5,000 net worth, which is not very near into comparison to Lycanthrope, for example, falling back very badly. And we also see that there is not much any stacks or any ability for Gyrocopter just to get into the jungles and try to find some space. Did he cancel a TP by himself? The nervousness, the level of nervousness right now in this game is getting higher, and I mean, you expect the players not to not to make such simple and small mistakes. However, right now we see that Puck will have to walk on his own fits towards his teammates, and I don't think that they even expect that Radiance are grabbing Nashor or Roshan at this time. Aegis on the Lekan, and now he would be, if he had Aegis on him that time when he faced four opponents of the enemy team, I guess he would be able to take even at least 3 of them. Very big threat right now. I also still believe that he needs to grab a BKB as fast as it is possible. Improving his pushing abilities is all sweet and good, however the amount of CC and all the control that the both Sven Disruptor task have, still you need to think about these things. Yeah, already level 2 Necronomicons. And is it level 3? Isn't? Yeah, he's bringing level 3 already for him. But Omni Knight was caught off guard, and that's a very sweet initiation. The Dream Coil of Puck found 4 or 3 targets, if I'm not mistaken, but that's already Gyrocopter down, and the amount of damage that Death Prophet is able to pull out in this teamfight is just tremendous. Already 4 men down, and Sven is not going to jump out of this fight alive. Not even able to get down Shadow Shaman, and that's already -5 full team wipe just in an exchange of Omni Knight. And I'm not really even sure that Omni Knight is the target that you want to focus at the beginning of the team fight. You have very sweet targets such as Lycanthrope and maybe even Shadow Shaman, but the choice and the distribution of damage in this team fight was not really in the favor of team Statix or Statix. Middle line is already down. They might be even able to get the bottom lane. Shadow Shaman still has his snakes, now he's pulling them off on the bottom line. Aegis is still up on Lycanthrope, and I don't see any reasons why they would not stay here and continue pushing on the enemy team. Gyrocopter is trying to pull out as much damage from his rocket barrage as it is possible, managing to kick down Undying, but that's everything that they could have done in the team fight. However, that's a very nice stun coming out of Sven, catching 2 people off guard. Lycanthrope at the same time, still with his Aegis on him, is managing to get down Tusk, and I would really sell his Aegis off, and together with Omni Knight he still has some chances to focus. Omni Knight snakes are doing their job. However, won't be able to get any racks at this point of time. Necronomicons altogether, will that going to be enough damage for Lycanthrope to take down anyone? Might try to chase at least Disruptor. That's most probably going to be enough damage for him. Yep, Disruptor is down. However, almost the whole team of the Dyers are already up. Oh my god, these bites on 140, 120, 340 crits are just sweet on him. Most probably he's going to be able to take the bottom racks. And we see that Undying already rejoined his teammates. They might try to go for the top lane, as Disruptor is not yet down, not yet back into the game. Just waiting for the Shadow Shaman and Death Prophet to rejoin their teammates. Death Prophet already having her ultimate up, and Shadow Shaman is still waiting for his snakes for another, I guess, 20 to 30 seconds. Even less, already 15 seconds, 10 seconds left. Meaning that they can get rid of the shrines and go back to the top lane and finish it. Already a 14,000 gold difference between the teams. Radiance making it a very good lead for them. And almost an Aghanim Scepter for Shadow Shaman, if I'm not mistaken. He's already able to buy all of it. Yeah, maybe leaving something for a buyback, or I'm not even sure whether that's necessary at this point of a time. They still have all the 3 tier 1 towers standing. Not even one of them is half HP, I guess. Omni Knight already.
Dire's bottom shrine is under attack.
Okay, only the top tower is pretty low HP, but still though. Lycanthrope is caught off guard, and I guess this is a very nice trade-off for the Statix team. He went just too deep all alone. They didn't have any vision of the enemy team. Yeah, the Alabard is already on the Omni Knight, most probably hitting the target on the Sven anytime it is possible, because Gyrocopter is not yet that big of a threat. But but that's a very sad moment for the Lycanthrope, just to get caught that easily on the top lane. I just believe he cannot go that far without any support of, for example, an Omni Knight. Did Omni Knight press his ultimate though? No, it wasn't the cooldown reduction. Now it's up. Another 15 seconds of farm. They're just denying everything from the enemy team. The Radiants are able to get into the enemy's jungle freely, and there is a lag. Let's see whether a pause will be required or not. Hope nothing serious. And once again, Death Prophet is also too far away from her teammates. Though the rules might save her some time, the ultimate is... She didn't even pop up her ultimate. Maybe already agreed to her death. This is a very bad throw on the top lane, I would say. Shadow Shaman is also most probably not going anywhere. Uses the smoke. Might be enough for him to escape. Puck does not reveal this. Reveals the smoke, but already spent his dagger. That's already brings down the gold differences by 3,000. Buys some time for Gyrocopter to farm it out. They're already almost catching up with their opponents. I mean, the Sven already has 9,500, which is only 500 gold less than Omni Knight has, and a few minutes ago this difference was about 2 or 3k. Please let me know in the Twitch chat if everything is okay. Omni wasted his ult for a solo survive. Yeah, that's I mean, this whole throw on the top lane was really unnecessary. They had to wait for the Lycanthrope to finally rejoin his teammates and to make this final push on the top lane. Instead, they played it very unsafe and uncarefully. That might pay them very back in the next few minutes. Does Sven already has his BKB on him? If we can check Sven, whether Sven has a BKB or not. No, not yet. Still has some time to go. I'm not even sure whether dagger was that necessary, because they really have a lot of initiation from the part of Puck and Tusk at the early game. Disruptor was just melted down, and Sven could not pull out any damage, and that's what I told. I'm not really sure how dagger helped him out in this team fight. However, on the other side, if he had BKB, could have some chances to survive for a longer time. Gyrocopter could not do any damage in this team fight. All the 5 members of the Infinity Pros team are full, and I suppose this is a GG. They can just finish it right here and right now. Mega Creeps are already there, and there is not much that Gyrocopter and Sven with their items right now can do. Puck was able to blink out. Yeah. Oh my god, if they could just bring at least one hit on him. However, 15 more seconds for Sven to get back into the fight, and I believe that the amount of minions on the base already, and there is absolutely no ultimates on the Dire side right now to keep up the fight and to survive it. They're trying to buy out as much time as it's possible, trying to focus the Lycanthrope. However, the amount of heal coming out from the Omni Knight just saves his teammates pretty much. Sven cannot pull out anything of the front tire, and this is a GG with a 21,000 gold difference on the Infinity Pros team. Congratulations to them. Unfortunately, Team Statix leaves the tournament, remaining 0-2 right now and dropping out of the lower bracket. And Team Infinity Pros will meet someone of the GeeGee eSports or the DOE team. Will sort it out in the next match of the winners bracket. Stay with us for another 10 or 15 minutes maximum of the pause, and we'll be back to you. Thanks everyone.
The battle begins.
Introducing Alienware's most powerful 13-inch gaming laptop ever. Featuring an optional touch OLED screen display and vibrant colors for more realistic gameplay. It's the first Alienware laptop of its size with a quad-core H-class CPU. Combined with the cooling benefits offered by the new hinge-forward design, this powerhouse is ready to take the heat. With improved rear door access, your machine can evolve with you, allowing for future upgradability to both RAM and hard drives, so you're never left behind. With the Alienware 13, you'll do more than push the envelope, you'll shred it. The Alienware 15 is the perfect balance of power and portability for gameplay far beyond the expected. It's been engineered with premium materials to deliver more performance than ever. With magnesium alloy for rigidity, copper for higher performance, and a new hinge-forward design that enables a variety of benefits, like better airflow and improved ventilation. Equipped with an Alienware Statix keyboard with N-key rollover, featuring the latest NVIDIA 10 series graphics and 2,667 MHz DDR4 memory. With the latest and most powerful Intel Core processors and optional dynamic overclocking. Sporting an expansive LCD screen with 120 Hz G-Sync technology, this powerhouse of a machine enables incredibly smooth graphics to get you deeper in the game than ever before. The Alienware 15 offers an intensely immersive experience that doesn't just balance the scales, it tips them in your favor.
A first in high-end gaming. Introducing the new Alienware Area 51 Threadripper Edition. The machine with the 16-core and 32-thread CPU, ready to overclock. Our most powerful liquid cooling unit exceeds VR and 12K requirements. From the company that pioneered the gaming desktop comes the ultimate gaming machine.
Exclusively built for gamers, the Linksys WRT32X gaming router reduces peak ping by up to 77%. The Linksys WRT32X, designed to dominate. Engineered for victory. The Linksys WRT32X gaming router is exclusively built for gamers. With its killer prioritization engine, the WRT32X reduces peak ping by up to 77%. Auto syncs with killer-enabled PCs for unique functionality not found in other routers. Native pro-grade hardware ensures the router runs powerfully and reliably for endless hours of gameplay. And the custom-built firmware and interface are developed for an exceptional gaming experience. Built for gaming, designed to dominate.